Hi, my name is Wayne Knapp and I'm the Safety Administrator for the Presbyterian Church of Queensland. This safety presentation is based on the requirements of the Queensland Building Fire Safety Regulations for the Northside Presbyterian Church. The church is located at Burnett Street, Rockhampton, and the complex consists of a brick church and a block hall. In this presentation, we'll look at the location of the firefighting equipment, the use of the firefighting equipment, the escape routes, exits and assembly areas, and the evacuation procedures itself. As part of this procedure, we'll also look at the specific duties of event leaders and assistants. A full version of the church's fire and evacuation plan is available from myself, on Alvanto, and from church leaders. Location of the firefighting equipment. There are two fire extinguishers located in the church. There is one located as you enter through the main entrance, just to the right. It is a chemical-based extinguisher. And there is a second extinguisher located to the left as you face the pulpit, and it is on the wall just past the sound speaker. In the hall, there are also two chemical-based extinguishers. One of these is located in the kitchen, which is accessed as you enter the door to the hall. It's located just behind the door in the kitchen, along with a fire blanket. And there is another extinguisher located about halfway down the hall on the left-hand side. It is also a chemical-based extinguisher. Firstly, it is important that you only use firefighting equipment if it is safe to do so and you are confident in using it. You should always be certain that you will not endanger yourself or others when attempting to put out a fire. All of these extinguishers are white banded dry chemical extinguishers. They can be used on most types of fires. They're easily identifiable by the white band, and they contain a powdered substance that when discharged can be used on most classes of fire, including those connected to an electrical source. To operate these extinguishers, you pull the pin, which is located here, and hold the extinguisher upright and twist the pin to break the seal. Once this has been done, pull the pin to release the trigger, and this will allow you to discharge the extinguisher. You aim the nozzle, which is here. Before approaching the fire, it is a good idea to test the extinguisher first. Once this has been done, aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. By doing this, you will hit the fuel source. If you aim at the flames, the powder may go right through and have little effect at all on the fire. Squeeze the trigger, press the two handles together, and this will release the pressurised agent in the extinguisher, and sweep from side to side. Start using the extinguisher a safe distance away from the fire and then slowly move forward. It is important to continue to sweep the fire until it is completely out. Fire blankets are used to put out fires that cannot be extinguished with water alone, and also to assist people whose clothing might be on fire. They can be used on wood fires and fires fueled by ordinary combustibles such as paper, and also liquids such as oil. To use the fire blanket, you'll first need to remove it from its holder, and you do this by pulling the two tabs at the bottom. Unfold the blanket until it's completely opened, and hold the blanket with your hands wrapped in the top edge of the blanket. This will protect your hands from heat and flames. Cover the flames completely with the fire blanket by throwing or placing the blanket on top of the fire and leaving it there until it goes out. Let the fire blanket cool for 30 minutes to an hour after the fire is out, and these blankets can be reused and folded up and returned to the holder. The final rule to remember, regardless of what sort of equipment you choose to use, is to always position yourself with an exit or means of escape at your back before you attempt to put out the fire. Escape routes and exits. If you're in the hall, there are two exits available on the left-hand side of the hall closest to the church. One is located just past the fire extinguisher, and the other is located adjacent to the kitchen. Once leaving the building, you travel down through the gate and then proceed into the car park adjacent to the church complex, which is where all those cars are parked. Remain on the far side of that car park. If you're in the church, there are a number of escape routes. If you're up near the pulpit at the front of the church, there are exits along the left-hand side of the building, the door I just walked through, and another exit door a bit further down. And again, you proceed down through that gate to the car park. If you sit on the right-hand side of the building, there are doors located all along the right-hand side of the building. And finally, there is the main entrance, which you enter the church through, near the bell tower, and you proceed out through the main entrance and over to the car park, and you can see the emergency assembly point sign on the fence if you assemble on the other side of that fence in the car park. The evacuation procedure itself. If you're the first person to locate a fire, alert the leader, and if it is safe to do so, attempt to extinguish the fire. Remember to make sure you have a clear exit before doing so. Meanwhile, other members of the group should prepare to evacuate. On hearing an evacuation instruction, immediately cease all activity, and only if it is safe to do so, switch off any appliances. Assist any person experiencing difficulty with the evacuation, and take a quick look to your left and right to see who is standing or sitting nearby. Walk quickly and calmly to the assembly area via the nearest exit, and at the assembly area, form into groups to assist the leader to ensure everyone has been safely evacuated. Report to the leader if you cannot locate the person that was to your left or right before you left the building, and under no circumstances re-enter the building. Remain at the assembly area until otherwise instructed, and if for any reason you need to leave, please advise the leader that you are leaving. If you are the evacuation coordinator or person leading an activity or program, there are additional duties to be performed as part of the evacuation process. You need to firstly investigate the fire situation, and if there is any doubt regarding whether there is a fire, call the fire services. Ensure the safe evacuation of all persons from the building, and account for all occupants at the assembly area. Ensure people do not attempt to re-enter the building, and meet the fire services and advise them of any information relevant to the building. As there are a number of tasks needed to be completed, it may be necessary to share these duties between attendees to ensure a safe evacuation. This includes checking the hall, the toilets, and checking each room in the church complex. If any room or building is unable to be entered, the emergency services are to be advised on their arrival. It is recommended that the evacuation coordinator or person leading an activity allocate these tasks at the beginning of an event. In the case of the Northside Presbyterian Church, these tasks have been allocated to the members of the Committee of Management and Elders. That concludes the Northside Presbyterian Church fire and evacuation presentation. If you have any questions about any of the information given in this presentation, please contact me at church office. Thank you.